Hello, hello, hello. So I just have headphones on, like you do. This is a live listen. What does that mean? It means I'm going to play some music and I'm going to listen to it, but you're not going to hear it because of copyright. Why, Darren? Why don't you play the music and react like all those other people? Because I'm not all those other people, and Roger Waters is worth $310 million and I'm not, and he doesn't. I need to make any more money out of me. Neither do any of the other members of Pink Floyd, alive or dead, who are multi-millionaires, and I'm not. This is my work. This is me listening and giving some thoughts on the Dogs 2018 remix, because they've landed it today before the box set comes out. And you've got to remember, there's only, was it five tracks on the album, and they've already released a 17-minute. They've effectively released the first side, and you can go and listen to this on YouTube Music and Spotify and where else for free, if you subscribe again. So go and head over to there, queue up Dogs 2018 remix and listen along. You could kind of have it on in the background whilst I witter on. So I'm going to put on the headphones of shame, because you must not hear the music, for they will take my micro pennies away from me, and you don't want to do that, do you? And then we're going to have a listen. Is that okay? Remember, do thumbs down if you're an idiot. Bing. There's going to be a lot of that. I've got a motion detector doorbell now. So you're going to hear a lot of bings and a lot of bongs. I should turn it off, shouldn't I? Are you ready, Freddie? Shall we wax a hot one? My headphones are on. I shall count us in. It's playing. I hear guitars. This all sounds very familiar so far. Sounds the same so far. Maybe a bit more separation on the guitars. And again, you've got the keyboards sweeping from left to right. But you have the keys, everything does feel a bit more restrained. Vocals. I think they've taken reverb off. Oh, there's the echo. Everything's been pulled back slightly. You see me with you. Silently moved out of. Yeah, it's all right. Without thinking. Boom. Everything feels kind of mono. That's interesting. The drums are open and then everything goes closed. Ooh. I don't know. Their back's on you. You had a chance to stick the fin. Yeah, more separation on the toms there. It's a very, it's a very restrained mix. Ah. Harder and harder when you get older. all alone and dying of cancer. Boom, 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 boom. There's a bit more space. I think they have opened it up slightly. Keyboards are more pronounced. Bit of EQ on the keyboards, just bring them forward somewhat. Beebo, 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 ba-da-bum. Good separation on the guitars, because they're double track guitars here. Boom, boom, boom. Because true fans do this. Boom, boom, down. Spent many a time as a teenager listening on the vinyl. Boodle boom boom, ba ba boom, ba boom boom. I learned bass playing bass. This is how I learned playing bass to this song. Boom boom, lot of boom boom. Boom boom boom. There's more guitar parts than you realise. Yeah. It has opened it up slightly. But it's also got a little bit of sterility in it as well. I think some of that 70s magic is missing. This is the problem. We have the dogs barking. Woof woof. Woof 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 woof, because it's about dogs. Oh. Woof woof. Woof woof woof. And the separated guitars again. It's coming. Got tickle. Ready? A little bit brighter there on the guitars. These are subtle differences. I mean, this isn't going to knock your socks off. It's subtle, you know. There's not a lot they can do with this album. I mean, well, this song. There's not a lot going on, you know. It's fairly stripped back production. You know, it's guitar, drums, bass, bit of keyboard, you know. Boom, boom. It's interesting how they move from like mono. You have the mono drums, and then it goes to like you have the stereo toms. That's very much more pronounced now, and it makes you realise just how like centered the drums and bass, the rhythm track is. Boom, boom, boom. Stereo toms again, all over the place. Separation of two vocals, because you have double track vocals on Gilmour, and it's just slightly separated. It's very subtle though. Good head. Oh, little bit of echo there that I never noticed. Turns to star. Oh. Yeah, everything's been pulled apart slightly. That's good. That's good. I like that bit. Yeah. Later news, weight you used to need to throw around. Yeah. Go drown as I go down. Yeah, a lot of the echo effects are much more pronounced because you've got the echo effects kind of moving from left to right in the rear field. More pronounced. Now you got all the keyboards kind of bunched up over here. And nothing going on over here. So it's kind of lopsided. That's going to have to move. That's going to have to move in a minute. What are you doing over here? Noodly bit. That feels very weighted to the left. I feel like I should be doing that. This is empty. This section, it needs something over here. Weird. It just feels weird. We're getting a bit more keyboards swashing here. Everything seems to be over this side. Oh, wait a minute. It's moved, yeah. It's moving around. They've done that thing where they're going to swirl it around your head. Dogs are barking over here for some reason. They're going to move them. They put it through a vocoder. It's more pronounced now. The vocoder treatment on the dogs more pronounced. So you got more electronic stone, echo. Again, this has all been pulled apart. More apparent, more space. It's a looser mix. And the dogs have moved over to here. The stone echo is moving in the opposite direction. The percussion, just holding it down. Edit. You can hear the edits. You can actually hear the edits better. This is the thing, when you pick apart a mix like this, sometimes when they do this, you can really hear the edits, you know. I just, like I said, that I noticed where they glued bits together. Oh, what have they done there? This bit of keyboard, they've taken some of the previous effect off and they've made it a little bit more present, because I think it had a bit more reverb or delay on it, and now they've just let it do its thing. That's got some whistling. Whistling is moving. Whistling for the dog. That's, again, everything's been... Oh. Oh. Was that another bad edit? It's because there's a bit of stuttery keyboard work. It might be just the keyboard. You know what those analog keyboards are like, you know? I mean, this is interesting, but I think it's lost some of its spaciness, you know? Because I do think it does need that reverb. Edit. Yeah. Separate guitars. Separated keyboards. Yeah. They have kind of removed the grime, the 70s grime. You know, I don't know, I mean, some of that murk, you know, can hold, you know, bring the mix together. I don't know. That I'm a little bit confused. Sometimes it seems to me that I'm just being used. And we've got to try and shake it. That didn't hit. That didn't hit like it used to. Creepy malaise. Don't stand my own ground. How will I find my way out of this maze? I don't know, some of the power has gone from that bit. Everyone's expendable. And no one is a real friend, real friend. I'm sure there was an echo on that bit. To isolate the winner. Winner, 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 winner. And under the sun. Oh, everyone's a killer. Nah, don't like that bit. Feels empty. And a lot of the background noises, the cheers and the whoops have gone, I think. Wow. Wow, wow, woo. Boom, 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 bow. Dum dum. Dum dum. Again, this is pretty standard section. You know, can't go wrong with this. There's not a lot to it. You know, this is the point. This isn't a complex piece. This isn't like Dark Side of the Moon or Wish You Were Here, where there's a lot of elements going on. This is just guitars and, you know, drums and bass, you know, and a little bit of keyboard padding, you know. Boom, boom, dum. They got to get the. That was good. The keyboard. Hasn't got the power. This last section. I don't know what they've done to the guitar. Ugh. The man. No. And chain. They've taken all the echo off. No. No. From the breaking. I kept that in there. They're strange. How in the end. Just sounds like a mess. No, no, it's splashy. It should be thick. No, you're doing Pink Floyd wrong. Stop it. No. Not impressed. By the stone. Okay. Nah, it's again, it's unnecessary. A lot of these remixes are unnecessary. There's nothing wrong with the original mix of Animals or Dogs. I think again the powerful bits have been diminished somewhat by their, I don't know, by ripping the mix apart and opening it up. I think they've kind of destroyed the kind of gritty brownness that, you know, came with the 70s. You know what I mean by that the brown sound. You've got to remember when Dogs and Animals was written. It was in 1977. It's one, you know, the bleakest parts of, you know, British history, and they've kind of just put a little bit of fizz to it. They've put a bit of fizz on a bleak album. Some bits I think are right, but it's just I get so exasperated by this need to remix and reissue everything. I could understand it when there's an actual problem with the original mix, but it's all right. Is it going to change your world? No. Do you need to sell your original copy to upgrade to this? Is it an upgrade? No, it's not an upgrade. This is something else, But nah. I'll stick with the original. And I'm going to get people in the comments going, "Oh, you just do this. You're a hater. You do this for the views. You're a hater." No, I make videos so people don't watch them. I don't know if anybody's in the comments. I doubt it. Oh, we get 51 views. Bloody hell. This is almost as big as coffee time. Let's see if there's anybody in there. Estrogen said, "I like the drums sound a lot more clear." They did. They separated the toms a bit more. But, Spectre says, "It's just me here, sad times." Yeah, well, not. There's many. This and Medal and Maybe the Wall are my favourites. Yeah, exactly. And Dan says, "Hi, afternoon, Darren. Yeah. Is it worth it?" Well, this is free, so yeah, it's worth it. It's free. This is Zeb. If you missed the beginning of the stream, this is on YouTube Music at the moment. It's on Spotify and other digital outlets. Of course, some of those you may have subscriptions to. Some you may have a free. I mean, Spotify's free, so you could probably listen to it on there for free. YouTube Music can be free for some people, so that could be a thing. So you can listen to it on that. Lone Wolf says, "It's the first time I hear and see someone explain a song's mix while listening to it on headphones. All to the left side makes me a bit nervous." Well, this is just I'd have to listen to it again. I've come to it. That was me completely fresh, taking it on. And, for me, there seem to be some bits missing. But then that could be false memory syndrome. Again, at the end, the big bit at the end, the big crescendo at the end, I feel like a lot of the power has gone from that. It's been sucked out of it. And a lot of the echo, the stuff they did with Waters' vocals have been pared back and removed. And, I like that call and response bit with the echo on that. It feels like overall, it feels like a lesser mix. It feels weaker, and again, when you can hear the edits, when they've pulled everything apart sufficiently that you can hear because it's recorded in sections, right? They didn't sit down and record this all in one go. They recorded it in bits and kind of spliced bits together, for the mix, and you can hear the splice points in this now because they've pulled the mix away, pulled it apart so much. Now, in the past, back in 1977, they would have been very careful, and they would have used effects or a bit of guitar or a bit of keyboard to hide an edit point. And here, because they've pulled it apart so far, you can hear the edit points. That's a bad mix. That's just my opinion. But as somebody who does mix, I do my own stuff. Okay, it's just for my own interests. I judge that to be a bad mix if you can actually hear the edit points. The whole point of doing these things is that it's seamless. It's no longer seamless. It's apparent where the edits are. So, but it feels weaker. It just lacks that bottom thud. That it lacks the brownness. It's the only way. Again, we're talking about sound, so it's quite hard to articulate what I mean because we're talking about things that we all experience subjectively. We all experience it differently. But I see Dogs as very much a very 70s album, and especially, Animals is 70s, and Dogs especially so, because it came from a certain point in British cultural history when everything was bleak. It's a bleak song, but now it's all shiny. They've shined it up. No. And like I said, they've cleaned it. Lone Wolf said, "I love 70s and 80s production. Music today sounds too clean." Yeah, we as mixers, we look for plugins to emulate tape emulation, just to, you know, tape saturation, just to bring the mix more together. Zeb says it's been premiering 2 hours. Oh, that's the actual YouTube video. There's two. I'm listening to it on YouTube Music, but you can listen to it in 2 hours and then watch this again. I'm ever so sorry, but I'm listening to this on something called YouTube Music, which is YouTube. You can actually listen to this on YouTube in the music tab in your channel. If you go to YouTube, I don't know if you've got it, there should be a tab called Music, and if you click on that, it's there as under new releases. Alright? Lone Wolf says, doesn't have the power. That's how I feel about music today. I guess those who produce and mix music nowadays are to blame. Well, it would have been the band, because they would have all been involved in the remix and ticked it off. Zeb, it's because it's available on YouTube Music. So it's available. This was available at midnight UK time on Spotify and YouTube Music. Oh boy. Okay, look, I'll explain it to you. I'll explain. Let me pull up YouTube Music and I'll give you the link, because everyone thinks I'm suddenly doing some sort of voodoo. I'm not doing voodoo. But careful, because I want to play it again. Is there a link to this? Share. Copy. Right, here we go. Here's the link to YouTube Music. You can listen to it now. Lowell says, I see that the stream starts 19 minutes ago. Yeah, that's right. George says, why do you react to this if you aren't going to like it? Exactly, this is what I'm up against. You post this just so people can see it. Yeah. This is clickbait because you want people to watch your videos. Yeah, I want people to watch the videos, but I don't go out to do clickbaity video. People would ask me about this, you see. If I don't listen to it, people are going to ask me, so I like to do a statement, you know. And I thought it'd be a bit of fun. Right? So if anybody wants to know why I'm doing this, it's a bit of fun. Alright, it's all a bit of fun. And if I didn't say the things you wanted me to say, I can only apologise and fuck off. Lone Wolf says, I'm still tempted to buy the deluxe version. I am. I'm doing it because reviews. I love booklets and cold tone new version of the cover. Stupid reasons. Well, I like the cover. I think the cover's quite interesting. But I think the cover's quite illustrative of what we've heard. It's quite, again, it matches the mix. It's kind of stark and blue and cold, whereas the other colours browny and burnished gold and, you know, full of depth. Zeb says, aha, I went to YouTube Music. Thanks, Darren. That's no problem. Noel says, didn't Dave, Nick and Roger listen to the mix? Maybe their hearing isn't as good anymore. Your description of this doesn't sound good. It's, again, bits of it are okay. Look, what do you want the mix for? Why does the mix... You've got to ask yourself, why does the mix exist? Right. What is a mix? What is a mix? First of all, we'll start at that point. What is a mix? A mix, when you're talking about sound, is a moment in time. It's the point in which the band or the producer or whoever, usually the band are involved, they're usually in the room when they sit down and they listen to something and go, this is how we want it to sound. This is it. And they freeze their idea in time. And for Floyd, it was 1977. You know, they froze that idea in time. And that's great. And that's what art is. It's like a canvas painting. Now, imagine if they brought back, I don't know, Leonardo da Vinci and all the great artists, you know, Picasso, you know, the one who cut his ear off, you know. Imagine if they all came back and they went back to their galleries and they all started touching up their paintings, going, that's wrong, I don't like that, drawing moustaches on the Mona Lisa. Everyone would be horrified, because art, you know, from the sculptor, you know, chiseling out the rock, to the painter, to the writer, to the musician, is a moment frozen in time. And everyone's got obsessed with remixing and reissuing, and it's all right if they're doing a radical remix, you know, like remixes used to be, where they go, we've reinterpreted it, we're going to do something a bit different. And you go, okay, they're reinterpreting their work. But now we just get this, where they just pull it apart a bit, make it sound a little bit fizzy, and And there'll be people that like this, and that's fine. But it's no longer a moment frozen in time. This is 2018 calling. Right, so something that was written, recorded, reflecting the culture of 1977 is dragged screaming and kicking into the 21st century and cleaned up. And you've got to just ask, why are we doing this? We've seen it with all these people, with Jethro Tull, Genesis, Yes, you name it, they've done it. And very few albums warrant a complete remix. Very few albums. But it's just done. So you and me spend our money on another useless product that we'll listen to once and put on the shelf. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine if you sign up to that. I'm just getting a bit tired. I want something radical. I was hoping that there'd be something interesting on here. And animals and dogs. Dogs is one of my favourites from Floyd, because I used to practice my bass playing and my guitar playing to it when I was a kid. It's one of my favourite pieces. And yeah, it sounds sparkly. It sounds more open. But that's not what the song is. The song is oppressive and depressing and bleak and black and brown and dark and murky. And they've dragged it into the sunlight. And that's fine if you like that. It's not to my taste. But it'd be interesting to see what they do on the surround sound mix. I think there'll be more detail on that. Because they can pull it apart even, and you can hear the edit points even more on the surround sound mix, because that's what happens. Even again, listening to like Genesis and that in their surround sounds, you can go, you can clearly hear where sections like have been mixed together, stitched together, mixed together. But again, I'm looking at it from somebody who's interested in that kind of thing. Fans come at it at a different angle. Fans are different. Naz says, oh God, my favourite album. Yeah, exactly. Dan says, new mixes are really good. Yeah. And Naz says, I'm going out to mow more lawns, to dollar sign. Exactly. I think where it will be interesting is in Sheep. I think Sheep has the potential to be something cinematic, because of all the songs on the record, it owes itself to. I'm talking about surround sound. It owes itself more to a surround sound mix, because you've got a lot of keyboards on there, a lot of effects, vocoder, and I think it's got more of a vista to it, a sonic vista than the other two songs. Again, Pigs is a very aggressive, snarly, in your face, full of bile, almost a punk song in its attitude. I can't see it benefiting one iota to a sparkly 2018 mix, but I'm here to be proven wrong. And then again, the surround sound mix it's going to be a completely different consideration, which should be interesting. Lone Wolf says, this reminds that I haven't listened to Pink Floyd's remix of Momentary Lapse of Reason. Well, Momentary Lapse of Reason is a product of the 80s. It has 80s sensibilities in terms of its keyboard sounds and its drum sounds, like the rototoms and things like that. And of course, they don't want you to know this, but Nick Mason didn't play, he didn't play some of the drums, and Richard Wright didn't play some of the keyboards. So, they went back and redid it, reconfigured it. And again, you're taking. I mean, I like that album. I bought it on the day it came out. Well, my mum bought me a copy while I was at school, and again, it's that experience. And I think it's like Genesis redoing Invisible Touch, or Gabriel doing So, and redoing some of the keyboard sounds. Those DX7 type sounds, those wavetable synthesis noises that you used to get from the 80s that people don't like anymore. You rip that off and replace it with samples or something else. It's just, I don't know, I just think we should just be happy. And I don't mind when people do radical remixes that are very weird and wonderful. I think that's interesting. But when you just, very few albums need it. I haven't heard U2's remix of Pop either. I bet I won't like it. Did they do a remix of Pop? Because I quite like that one. Ooh, discotheque. Ooh, discotheque. U2 is the Village People. One of my favourite videos of this. Zeb said, did U2 release a remixed edition of the Dreaded Pop album? I like that album. You can see what twisted individual I am. Lone Wolf says, I love Sheep and Pigs. I hope those will be good. Well, we'll have to wait and see. And Richard says, should have pushed up the Woof Woof up more. Exactly. They've denied the woofers and pushed for the tweeters. Richard said, give it another 5 years, I don't know, another remix. I think it'd be longer than that, won't it? They're trying to sell their catalogue. Simple Minds sold their catalogue, didn't they? Everyone is getting out quick. And the Floyd at the moment trying to sell their catalogue. They're trying to find somebody who will buy their entire catalogue off them. And that shows you that music is valueless if they're willing to let go of it at this stage in the game. Remember, you know, Roger Waters is worth something like $310 million. Sid Barrett, $5 million, and that was only one on the back of one album and one song. You know, that's not bad going, is it? But yeah, the music biz is in a strange time where everyone's offloading. Everyone's offloading for the big bucks. My entire catalogue is available for anyone out there. I start the bidding at £7.50. £7.50. Do go to music.darrenlock.com. £7.50. There you go. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully this has annoyed many people as possible. You didn't play the record. You didn't play the record. Even though I explained I can't play the record because Pink Floyd will claim it. And I don't want them having any more of my money until I buy the Animals box set because I'm sad. Don't forget, if you like this or disliked it, thumb me. Stick a thumb in as hard as it will go. And we'll do this all again soon. Yeah? Did you enjoy it? No, you didn't enjoy it. Anyway, yeah, we'll be off now then. Thanks for watching. I've been talking about this Dogs from Animals 2018. I've been talking about that in case you missed it. So you have to rewind, queue it up. It is available, and you can listen and hear me making faces like that. That's the animated thumbnail. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. We'll do this all again soon. There's only one more thing to say, and if you don't know what that is prog on.